Sowing a pictorial meadow was one of the most inspirational gardening projects I've ever undertaken.
Laura, is absolutely stunning.
It's good, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, it does look like a painting. It's so beautiful.
In this video, I'm going to explain a little about the background to pictorial meadows, how we went about sowing ours, and how it changed over the summer months. Now, pictorial meadow is a very specific sort of wildflower meadow that incorporates not just wildflowers from Britain, but from also other countries, and it gives a much longer flowering period and a much more vibrant colour scheme than just a purely native meadow would. Now, pictorial meadows were the brainchild of Professor Nigel Dunnett and his team at Sheffield University, and they've been working on them for several years now. And they now have a community interest company called Pictorial Meadows that you can go online and choose some of them. As I say, I've chosen to do 3 annual ones. I'm going to do their most popular one, which is called a classic mix. But I'm also going to try another one that's called Candy. And then finally, I'm going to try what looks a beautiful iridescent coloured mix called Kingfisher. And they're designed to flower in sort of different waves of colours, so the early bloomers first, the mid-season bloomers, and then at the end some taller ones will grow through to give yet another colour scheme at the end. So this is the site we're preparing for the pictorial meadow trial. We've worked the soil over, not dug it deeply, and certainly not put any fertiliser on, but we've just left it 10 days, and as you can see now, we've had a rash of weeds pop up on it, and we need to get rid of those so we've got a nice clean start for the pictorial meadow seeds.
Gently running the hose through the surface like this, not digging deep at all, because I don't want to bring up any more weed seeds, but I just want to hoe off these. You have to do this in hot weather, or else the seeds will just put their roots down and take off. But if it's a nice hot afternoon like this, you can just tickle the surface, cut them off in their prime, and that will give a nice clean start when we sow our pictorial meadow seeds. So the soil is nicely prepared now, and I've now marked out the 3 bays that are going to take the different mixes. To make the sowing process easier, for each lot I'm adding about an equal quantity of sand, just builder's sand, like that, mixing it thoroughly together. And the idea behind that is that I end up with a much bulkier mix that's easier to sprinkle, and it won't get caught by the wind so much as I do it. And also I'll be able to see where I've sprinkled them. So this is the last little job we're doing, which is to roll it flat. Now this is quite a big area, so we've used a little garden roller. But if you're just doing a small area, I think you could just go along with your feet like this and squash it flat like that. So it's a couple of weeks further on, and we've had a really good germination. Luckily, it's been quite wet, and the seeds have come through really nicely.
So it's about 6 weeks now, and the really exciting thing is we're starting to get a few pops of colour in it. A little bit of yellow and some purple coming through. Now, it was one of Professor Dunnett's aims with these meadows to create a sense of awe and wonder at the vibrancy of their colours, and it was certainly doing that already.
Laura, it's absolutely stunning. Really?
Nice, isn't it? I'm so pleased with it.
No, it looks super. And it's alive with little hoverflies and bees. Beautiful.
And every time we come out, there seems to be another different kind of flush of flowers for us to enjoy. So we've had all the lovely poppies, and then the ammi came through, and the scentless mayweed in the background. Lots of little pops of orange and yellow daisies. The lovely red flax, just let me show you that. Now into the mix called Kingfisher. Now this Kingfisher all summer long has had this fantastic echium, Viper's bugloss flowering, which has been fantastic for the bees. Now the lovely thing about these meadow mixes is that the colours keep changing like a kaleidoscope. So this first one now, which is Candy, now has a beautiful kind of white sheen across the top, whereas in the middle we've got Classic, and that's now got more of a blue with the cornflowers, And literally every day as a different species sort of comes through, there seems to be a change in the colour schemes. It's the middle of September now, and the pictorial meadows are just starting to tip over into more seed heads than flowers. Now it would be tempting just to let this seed germinate again in the spring, but in fact it's not recommended, as some species will seed much more prolifically than others, and you would just be left with a few dominant species instead of the nice diversity of plant species in the original mix. So it's worth just doing that spring soil preparation again and sowing some fresh seed. I'll certainly be doing it because there are some other varieties that I'm longing to try. Now, I hope I've managed to convince you that for a little bit of preparation, with a pictorial meadow, you can enjoy a summer-long, ever-changing kaleidoscope of colour and a feast for your pollinators that will bring a sense of satisfaction and well-being. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel for more tutorials, and maybe sign up to our weekly blog posts at the3growbags.com as well.